Hi, how are you doing today? Such a privilege to be here with you, to be speaking to you, albeit virtually, but yes, I still count this a very huge privilege. My name is Bolu Onasanya. I'm the founder of Join Up, and it's exciting how we started in 2016 and of hosting conferences even since 2017. And the number of people that has been impacted in terms of the mental wellness, mental health, over the years, has just been significant. And we're super grateful for the opportunities to be able to impact people with the gospel of joy. It's such an incredible thing to see a person who's suicidal, who's sort of ending it all, and then coming out of that and getting a very good job and just stay thriving in life. That level of privilege to be able to serve in that capacity is something we are super grateful for. My wife and I, we founded this organization, and it's just been amazing the kind of impact we've been able to make, and we're excited to be starting this also in Ireland, starting in Dublin, and I believe very strongly that it's going to be super impactful for the entire nation. And just allow me to just dive right into a gist for today, just because of the brevity of time that I have with you. And if you're the person that likes to title the things that you listen to, then you could just title this Walking on Water. But before I really talk about how you can just walk on water and do the impossible, I want to just reference something that perhaps you go through every now and then, if it's not the usual for you, that every human being would say they have experienced at one point in their life or the other. Is something called overwhelm. Yes, overwhelm is something that is significant for everyone who is in the workspace. You're trying to make ends meet, and you're just feeling that sense of overwhelm. And allow me to just explain this to you, that every time you hear a word, especially a word that is highlighted, your brain immediately has a picture that tries to interpret what is being said. So for instance, if I say to you a rainbow, immediately you start to imagine a rainbow formed in your head, and your favorite memory of a rainbow might come up. It could be a drawing for somebody, and the next person, it could be a real live rainbow as close as you can. Or whatever I say to you, you immediately find an image in your head to imagine what is being said to you. So the moment I said overwhelm, what came to your mind would be a perfect image that describes when a person is overwhelmed. And I would just suggest that perhaps what came to mind when you heard the word overwhelm is somebody drowning in a sea of work and expectations and things to be done, tasks, to-do lists, and just a lot of things coming at you. And it just feels like you're drowning the sea of a lot of things that you're required to do. And you say you feel overwhelmed, like you have your head being immersed into what you're going through. And many times I see people who perhaps are working multiple jobs to just keep ends or make ends meet, and they just keep body and soul together. You're trying to get food, or if you have a family, you're trying to fend for your family, pay fees here and there. If you're a student, you're trying to work and you're studying at the same time, just to ensure that there is a balance in your life, and then so that you don't need anything. And so you're just working and studying and meeting people and just seeing how your life can be better. And there's just so much of the things coming at you that you can feel overwhelmed. And maybe you're at that point in your life where you just feel like you're being immersed into a sea an endless sea of tasks and responsibilities, and you really just want to take a break, but it's not coming, and you got your head under water. And if you look at your head, you would see that one of the highlights of your head is, first of all, the eyes. So what you do with your eyes, you see with your eyes, you have vision with your eyes, and maybe you're so overwhelmed that vision oftentimes gives you a sense of direction, but you don't have direction, or you're lost the sense of direction because you're completely immersed in the things that you're going through, and you can't really see the future or what you're gunning for. You wake up every day, living each day as it comes without a sense of direction, but just trying to make ends meet. And it can be heartbreaking. If you're an immigrant, for instance, you would have left your home country into Ireland or into Dublin with a vision, with a dream, and then you just believing that your dreams can come true. And you're just in the city, just doing everything you can, and then you get submerged into the sea of responsibilities and bills and things to do and things to keep up with and talking to family, and everything is just really overwhelming that you lose your sense of direction. And so you came in, or even if you're a native, you've always had, from when you were young, a sense of direction. This is how I want my life to be like. This is what I want to do with my life and my time. And then you started out life good until you became an adult, and you start to become more responsible, and then you're feeling overwhelmed with the things that you got to deal with, and then you lose your sense of vision or direction, and you're being asked what you want to do, what you want to be, and you're wondering, it's not about what I want to be, it's about whether I've got food for tomorrow or next week, or whether I'm able to pay my bills at the end of the month or the end of the week, or whether so you're just losing the sense of direction. Or maybe you're fully immersed, and what you do with your nose, you breathe with your nose, but this time you're so overwhelmed that you can't exhale. And so you're struggling to breathe, you're choking. It's like the work is choking you, the people, you just suddenly don't like crowd, because every time somebody comes at you, it is something that they demand of you or expect from you, and it's just a lot of pressure that they bring, and it feels like you're choking in it, and you're trying to take a break, but you can't because you've got bills to pay and you can afford to take a holiday, and so you can't really exhale from all that you're dealing with, and you can't be in that space of overwhelm. Or you just cannot verbalize, you can't speak. You don't feel safe, so you can talk to people, and just the overwhelm is really submerging you. And people get to a point where they're so overwhelmed that they just want to end it all. They want peace, they want quiet, and they want it to be quiet for a very long time. And sometimes some people use drugs just to take the pain away. And what could be overwhelming you may be the bills plus struggles that you've dealt with, or abuse, or trauma from childhood, and everything is just coming at you and trying to sink you in this well or in this sea or responsibilities and hurt and pain, and you're overwhelmed. But here I've come to charge you, and I will tell you sincerely, the therapist might come to you and give you strategies, psychotherapy, CBT, and just give you things to do to be able to keep your head above water, so at least you can have some sense of vision and have some sense of direction, and take a holiday just to exhale. And you can have that from therapy, but I want to charge you that when you're immersed in the sea of responsibilities and hurts and the pain and the things that you're going through as life, even though your head is above water, you still struggle to move. And it's essential to move, because one of the characteristics of human beings is movement. It is important that you move. Even the earth moves and revolves on its axis and rotates it rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun. Everything that has breath moves. Everything really does move. Waves are moving from my mouth to the microphone so that you can hear me. There's movement for there to be life. And so even if you have your head above water, from all the strategies you've learned and the courses you've taken, you're still struggling to move. You can swing your way, but the pace at which you're moving is so sluggish compared to what you can see with your eyes. But I want to charge you that really what can help you to move faster. And if you check, you'd find that swimming is one of the most intense exercises a person can be involved in. It takes a lot to be able to swim, and you want to, with the vision that you have in your mind and the dreams that you have and the things that you see, you just think that you can move faster. It will pay if you can move faster, but the sea of responsibilities and bills and hurt and pain just kind of impedes your movement, and you're finding it difficult to move from one point to the other. Yes, you have a dream. Yes, you have a sense of direction. Yes, you take a break and you exhale, but you're finding it difficult to move. But there's just an experience that I will never forget for the rest of my life. It's not my personal experience, but I read about it and it really changed something. It shifted something in my mind. I read about Jesus. He was walking on water. And while I would think that yes, he is a superhuman being, it is possible for him to walk on water. He has raised the dead, he's healed the sick, and so he has multiplied food in a very tremendous way. So walking on water may not be so much of a big deal for a man like Jesus, because yes, I've heard about Jesus. I heard he does a lot of amazing stuff, mind-blowing, transcendental stuff. So yeah, he can walk on water, and I can admit it. But what really shifted something within me was when somebody who was super curious about the abilities of Jesus looked at him and said, if you truly can do this, then you must be able to transfer the ability to be able to walk above the limits and the pain and the hurt and the responsibilities, and just walk above all of that. Yes, I'm neck deep into this thing, but if you can walk on water, if you can, for the joy set before you, endure the cross, which doesn't make sense logically, but if you can do that, then perhaps you can actually call me into that experience as well. And so here's Peter stepping out of a boat in a stormy sea, and he starts to walk on water. And the only thing that really kept him afloat was his focus, because then he started to look at Jesus. He started to look at Jesus and he started to walk. Started to do the impossible because he could see the one who can do the impossible. And even though you're feeling low and you just feel like a lot of deadlines, it feels impossible for there to be a breakthrough for you, or it feels impossible for the pain to go away. You've held this pain for 20 years. Here I'm saying to you that impossible is nothing with Jesus. If only you can look at Jesus, you can walk on water. And don't be satisfied with your head above water. Go for it. Walking on water, doing the impossible, because the bills can be beneath you, the pain can be beneath you, the hurt you feel can be beneath you, the responsibilities that you have can be beneath you, if only you look at Jesus. And I want you to do something very critically. At this moment, I believe that the joy that you require oftentimes, and I'm going to tell you about what we understand to be joy, and it's not just being happy, it's so much more than that. We are convinced that joy means strength, and it takes strength for you to be able to walk on water. The kind of strength that you may not be able to interpret in a physical realm or by the laws of physics, but it takes a particular kind of energy. The kind of energy it requires for a plane to break gravitational force for it to fly. It's the same kind of energy, strength that it takes for you to be able to walk on water. So, but we're going to go into a session right now. I'll be very briefly, but it's going to be a session, we call it a worship, where we just want you to, as the atmosphere is being conditioned by the songs that you're hearing, I want you to just imagine yourself, the child that you are. Because many times when you imagine yourself, it's usually younger than you actually are now. Sometimes you look in the mirror after imagining yourself and you realize, oh, I'm older than I thought. But yes, just imagine yourself come with the pain, with the responsibilities, the bills and the hurt and everything that feels to weigh you down, and just present it before Jesus. And in case you don't really know, what does Jesus look like? Is it black? Is it white? Is it obviously the Irish, but perhaps we heard he's from Israel. So what's the skin color? What does it look like? What are the features? If that's going to be a bother, you don't want to be distracted, because this time that you have is very critical. What you can do with it, just imagine a bright light. And imagine yourself as a child walking towards that light with all the pain that you bear. People that you trusted to help you through a particular season, and they decided to let you down. And you thought that, oh, by the time I get here, I'm just going to make this call and this person will come through for me, and they didn't. And the pain of being let down or being betrayed, all of that, just bring it all before the light. And you're just going to be in the presence of this light and just say that this is heavy. The bills, the responsibilities, keeping up with this, family, all of that, this is heavy. And so just present this before Him and before the light, and just say that I'm just bringing this before you, because it's heavy, it's too heavy for me to carry. And while you're doing that, just bask in the atmosphere that's being charged by the music that you're hearing, because it's worship to God, who is light and in whom there is no shadow at all. And I believe so strongly that as you do this, it'll be you asking, like Peter, Jesus, saying, if it's really you, then bid me to come. Let me walk upon these waters. I believe very strongly that the God that has so witnessed so many amazing things at the Joy Up would also visit you right there. And it would carry the burdens that you carry. But I want you to just take this time to just bask, present your burdens to Him. If you cry, it's fine. This is a safe space. It's okay to cry. If it hurts that much, cry. Let it out. But just bask and make sure that you're presenting it. I would suggest that you close your eyes so you eliminate all distractions. You possibly can hear my voice, so just continue to hear the voice as I speak to you, but ultimately bring the burdens that you carry before Him. Let Him carry it for you. Just put it all down. The child that you are, seeing all the weight of responsibilities, all the weights of the pain and the insecurities and everything that's just making you cringe or deal with anxiety or depressed, just bring it. You don't have to use the drugs no more. Just bring it before Him. Even if it hurts, even if it's inconvenient, even though you're trying to forget it, bring it before Him. Just let it out and let it go, because it's time to walk on water.
I'll be here worshiping all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping all of the days of my life. Everybody say, I'll all of the days of my life. worshiping. Praise waits for you, oh God, in Zion. Say, I'll be here. Say, I'll be here. All of the days. Let's sing this part for them. Say, I'll be here. sacrifice all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping. As the musician begin to play this line, ask the Lord for something. Ask Him for something. No one comes here and goes back the same way. It's not possible. I'll be here because you have worshiped tonight. Ashabarada kapasi anteleba. I'll be here worshiping.